Hoy en Carolina Ahora, immigration, North Carolina lawmakers are expected to have a key vote on a bill that would require the sheriff's office to work with ICE.
Y en el G20, el presidente Biden proclamó la importancia del cambio climático desde la región de la Amazona, mientras la presidenta de México también hizo una declaración impactante a su propia manera.
And in this week's What's Poppin', we're going to talk Latin Grammys and Wicked. Carolina Ahora starts right now. Bienvenidos a Carolina Ahora, Noticias in Spanglish. Soy Chrisanne Bennett.
Y soy Aaliyah Mitchell.
Now, Aaliyah, what can you tell us about the statewide House bill?
Well, Chrisanne, the State General Assembly will bring House Bill 10 to the floor today to discuss overriding Governor Roy Cooper's veto of the bill. House Bill 10 establece que todos los sheriffs deben cooperar con los funcionarios federales de migración. Los demócratas estatales dicen que los republicanos perderán su supermayoría en enero. Los legisladores republicanos se están enfocando en terminar la anulación del veto del gobernador y discutir otras prioridades en la reunión. La abogada de inmigración Yasmina Nogo del Centro de Justicia de Carolina del Norte dice que 287G, un programa federal que ofrece a las aplicaciones de la ley la capacidad de elegir si trabajan o no con ICE, ya no será efectivo si se aprueba la ley.
We've seen a lot of major local police refuse to collaborate with ICE, like Mecklenburg Police, Durham. So many have withdrawn their contracts with ICE because they wanted to be responsive to their communities and what it means for them to be kept safe.
El Centro de Justicia de Carolina del Norte tendrá un día de acción durante la Asamblea General para presionar a los representantes a negarse a aprobar el proyecto de ley. Los defensores del político de todo el estado están anticipando que los republicanos actuales de la Cámara y del Senado tratarán de aprobar piezas clave de legislación conservadora, como House Bill 10 antes de enero.
Y ahora nosotros tenemos un aviso sobre seguridad. Según la universidad, el sábado alrededor de las 2 de la madrugada hubieron 2 robos a mano armada. El primero fue cerca de la entrada de Granville Towers y el segundo ocurrió aproximadamente media hora después en South Merritt Mill Road, cerca de Crest Drive. Las autoridades dicen que 2 hombres se bajaron de una camioneta blanca, agredieron a las víctimas y los robaron. La investigación continuará.
El G20 Summit continúa hoy en Brasil. El evento une a 19 países. El tema principal, la cooperación económica internacional. Biden viajó a Brasil durante el fin de semana y habló sobre la importancia de proteger la Amazonía y combatir el cambio climático. Durante su visita, dijo esto.
My last G20 summit. We've made progress together, but I urge you to keep going. I'm sure you will, regardless of my urging or not.
También presente la presidenta de México, Claudia Sheinbaum, como científica y ahora presidenta, ha proclamado que los cambios climáticos deben ser una prioridad. Incluso voló a Brasil en un avión civil. Now, to Maria with Elevando Voces.
Hoy en Elevando Voces hablamos con Anthony Bello, un estudiante cubano de primer año de la Escuela de Odontología UNC Adams. Bello is passionate about having access to dental care, especially those with Medicaid. According to the ADA, American Dental Association, many dentists don't accept as many Medicaid patients because the compensation is lower compared to other insurance plans. Growing up, he had a hard time finding a dentist who would take his insurance, Medicaid. Nos cuenta sobre su experiencia teniendo aseguranza con Medicaid y el impacto a su familia. Vemos lo que nos dice.
Since I was a first-gen American, I was able to have Medicaid. So I had to grow up being able to go to the dentist every 6 months while I had to watch my family, especially my dad, in tooth pain and have no way to relieve that. I really felt driven to be that person to change that for people.
He realized that everyone, regardless of their circumstances, should have access to dental care. Now to Chris Ann with Mind Matters.
Gracias, Maria, y welcome back to Mind Matters. Seasonal depression is something that we hear about all the time, whether it's on TikTok and Instagram, but what is it really? But you know the drill. If we're here to understand why this happens, so we need to look at the source, the brain. Some research believe that seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, originates in the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's a big word, I know. If you look right here, it's a tiny part of the hypothalamus responsible for our internal clock. This is an extremely sensitive area that's extremely sensitive to light, which regulates melatonin. And no, I'm not just talking about the gummies that we buy in stores. This is also a very important hormone which regulates our sleep and circadian rhythms. When sunlight exposure decreases in these fall and winter months, the SCN can be thrown off balance. Others think that it may be a certain issues with serotonin levels in the dorsal raphe nucleus, which is a part of the midbrain. Lower levels of serotonin can be why some people feel more depressed during these colder in months where we're seeing less light. And get this, a 2008 NIH study found that Black and Latino communities may be more susceptible to seasonal affective disorder. Not only does SAD make people feel more depressed, but it can also cause anxiety, mood swings, sleep issues, overeating, and extreme fatigue. And even if you haven't been professionally diagnosed with SAD, it might be a time where you're feeling off. So let's look at some things that you guys can do to feel better. Number one, prioritize your sleep. Make sure you're going to bed at a reasonable time because your body needs that rest to tackle that next assignment. And two, dim the lights. I know it's hard, but before bed, no scrolling before TikTok. Try to put your phone away at least an hour before. Turn off those bright lights because this helps to reset your internal clock. Make sure that you're getting outside. Spend at least 30 minutes in natural light each day, or try bright light therapy. And like I always say, make sure you're exercising because even a short walk can boost those serotonin and endorphin levels to improve your mood. And I know it can be hard when we're feeling down, but make sure that you're connecting with friends and that you're not socially isolating because this can be a huge mood lifter. Guys, this semester the end is nearly in sight and you've made it this far, so make sure that seasonal depression is just one more challenge that you're overcoming. And remember, even when the seasons change, your success doesn't have to fall back. Now on to Aaliyah with What's Poppin'.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kristen. Well, the highly anticipated Wicked movie, starring Ariana Grande as Glenda and Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, will hit theaters on Friday, November 22nd in the US, while fans in Mexico can catch it just a day earlier on the 21st. This adaptation of the beloved Broadway classic dives into the backstory of the Witches of Oz, bringing iconic songs like Defying Gravity and Popular to the big screen. In Mexico City, El Palacio de los Deportes transformed into the Enchanted City for the premiere last week. The event included a special reunion of the original Mexican Wicked cast, featuring Dana Paola and Ceci de la Cueva, who starred as Elphaba and Glenda in the 2013 Spanish-language production. Both actresses will be back in their roles to voice the Latin American dub of the film. And fans in Mexico City warmly welcomed Ariana Grande cheering Ariana, hermana, ya eres mexicana. Meanwhile, the Latin Grammy celebrated its 25th anniversary last week, honoring the best in Latin music. The night's big winner was Juan Luis Guerra and his group 440, who took home 4 awards, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Merengue and/or Bachata Album, and Best Tropical Song. Also, Karol G made history as the first woman to win Best Urban Music Album twice in a row for her album Mañana Será Bonito. Now, to Anna with an update on sports.
Thank you. Carolina field hockey is back in the Final Four for the 15th time in 16 years as they cruise to playoff victories against Delaware and Duke over the weekend. But the Tar Heels didn't earn the bid without having to fight. Riley Heck was a big part of their success on Sunday afternoon against their Blue Devil rival. Big players step up under the bright lights and big-time moments, and this was yet another example of that from the Junior Honda Award-winning forward. After 14.5 minutes of scoreless play to open up the quarterfinal at Karen Shelton Stadium, Charlie Bruder made a nice pass, which ended up ricocheting off of a Duke defender before Lisa Slinkert, the midfielder, was able to corral the ball. Once Slinkert had the ball, the pulled the goalie to the wide left of the goal, it created way too much space for the goal scorer Heck, who quickly was able to score in the goal with a clean shot from the opposite side of her body from where she usually shoots. But nothing's too hard for Riley Heck, and she proves that one more time. Heck's 14th goal of the season put the Heels out in front, and they did not look back. They took down Duke 3-0, and now the team will have to bundle up and pack their bags to travel to the Final Four in Ann Arbor, Michigan in just a few days. And field hockey's not the only sport in action this week. Friday is jam-packed with sports. Men's basketball plays in Hawaii, women's soccer at Dorrance Field in the second round of the NCAA tournament, and volleyball celebrates senior night against Cal at 7 p.m. inside Carmichael. Make sure to check out Sports Extra this Friday for more on Carolina athletics. Aaliyah and Chris-Ann, back to you.
Thank you, Anna. Y gracias por ver a Carolina Ahora.
Asegúrate de seguir nuestra Instagram en Carolina Ahora UNC. Sintoniza el próximo martes para ver otro programa.